people living in this quiet corner of England could play a big role in who becomes the UK's next Prime Minister.
Chaos, absolute chaos.
So how did we end up here? And could the plan actually end up backfiring? This is Makerfield in northwest England. It's holding a by-election and the stakes couldn't be higher. It's a former mining area, and since the constituency was created in the 80s, it's only ever had a Labour MP. In this by-election, there are 14 candidates overall, and parties including Labour, Reform, Conservatives, Lib Dems, Greens and Restore Britain are all canvassing. But the two main frontrunners are Labour's Andy Burnham and Reform's Rob Kenyon, and if Burnham wins, it could potentially open up his route to Downing Street. I keep saying by-election, but if you're not 100% sure how they work, just sit with me for a sec. So a by-election is a one-off vote that happens if an MP seat becomes available in between general elections. It could be because the MP's stepped down, been recalled or even died, for example. They happen fairly often, but we've never seen one like this before. So, the vote here on June the 18th is to replace Labour MP Josh Simons, who stood down from his seat last month as part of a bigger plan which could go wrong, but we'll get to that in a minute.
I think people are excited mainly about national issues such as immigration. I think that's what's getting everybody fired up.
Anyone who's running for it, they've all got their own agenda from what I think, so, to advance their career. So I don't really trust any of them.
Big divide between people. There's a lot of people going around, a lot of signage going around.
Keir Starmer is under serious pressure from his own Labour MPs after big election losses in Wales, Scotland and England in May this year. And there's questions over his appointment of Lord Mandelson and how much he knew about his relationship with Jeffrey Epstein. Some in his party just think it'll be better for Labour's chances in the next general election if somebody else was in charge. One of the favourites for that role is Andy Burnham, but he isn't an MP because he currently serves as the Mayor of Greater Manchester. And that's what brings us here. For Burnham to be in with a chance of being Prime Minister, he'd have to have a seat in Parliament, but there were none going. Until now. Enter stage left, Labour MP Josh Simons, who basically took one for the team, gave up his seat here at Makerfield so Andy Burnham could run. So what do we need to know about the two frontrunners? Andy Burnham's one of the most recognisable figures in the Labour Party, a former cabinet minister under both Gordon Brown and Tony Blair, and for the last 8 years he's been Mayor of Greater Manchester. He's made no secret of his ambitions to be Prime Minister too. His main competition here is Rob Kenyon, who has a very different background, a self-employed plumber born in Makerfield who doesn't have a long history in politics. Right, let's see if we can get anyone here to talk to us about what it's been like. Hello. Can we ask you a couple of quick questions? No? Can I ask you some very quick questions about the area? No worries. Can I ask you some quick questions about the area? Are you aware of the upcoming election?
Yeah, aren't we all? Does it affect us all? Of course it affects us all. The whole political landscape's got to change. It's not about right or left, it's about what's right and wrong.
What has it been like recently since this by-election was announced?
Chaos, absolute chaos.
Absolutely mayhem.
The national focus has been on us for a while now, since it got announced.
I want honesty. Yeah. Not a load of gimmicks, I just want honesty.
Tell us what you can and can't do, but don't promise us things that you're not going to deliver.
Not many people want to talk to us. They seem pretty sick of media attention already. But ironically, we met a guy who's travelled all the way from Europe to report on this by-election.
You're at the BBC?
Yeah, we're at the BBC. So you're a Norwegian reporter?
Yes, I am. And I'm here to follow the by-election. This is a global story. I met with a Japanese team down the road.
But why are the stakes so high? Well, Andy Burnham's not just competing for this one seat. He's basically fighting to prove that he's the guy who can help Labour beat Reform. And that could backfire. Reform have gained big momentum in places like Makerfield recently and taken votes off of Labour and the Conservatives. They've won support on things like immigration, cost of living and distrust in politics. So Makerfield is a risky place for Labour to run. In the last general election in 2024, this was how the constituency voted. Just over 45% Labour and 31.8% for Reform. That's pretty tight, but it might be exactly the gamble Labour want to take.
This constituency has been a safe Labour seat for decades, and it's in a part of the country, the northwest of England, that has traditionally been a bit of a Labour heartland. It is also the sort of constituency that Nigel Farage's party needs to win if he is to become the next Prime Minister. For Andy Burnham, the Labour candidate and Mayor of Greater Manchester, this is also a big opportunity to prove he has a way to beat Reform, because the challenge that Nigel Farage's party poses to the Labour Party is one of their biggest challenges looking ahead to the next general election. This whole contest is intensely awkward for Keir Starmer because it could end with him being challenged as leader of the Labour Party. It means that yes, Labour are backing Andy Burnham as their candidate, but him running for this election could end up with their leader, Keir Starmer, being challenged at the end of it.
We'll be back here next week once the election results are in to explain what happens next, what it means for Makerfield and for the rest of the UK. But first, subscribe so you don't miss all the election night content. Here's a full list of candidates who are running.